The internet is about to break because Jim Jones has finally come forward with what he's calling the darkest, dirtiest secret that's ever been hidden in his world. And it all revolves around Chrissy, Lampkin, and Cameron in a scheme that fans can barely believe is real. You heard that right? An alleged fake baby plot, whispered about for years, has now exploded into the spotlight. And if what Jim is saying is even half true, it could permanently destroy reputations, ruin relationships, and flip the love and hip-hop universe upside down. Imagine the betrayal. Imagine the deception. We're not just talking about arguments, cheating rumors, or messy reality TV drama. We're talking about a plot so twisted it's being described by insiders as career suicide if proven. Social media is already in flames. Fans are screaming, insiders are leaking, cryptic DMs, and the receipts coming out are darker than anyone expected. And the wildest part? Sources claim there's more evidence about to drop. Audio, screenshots, even alleged legal paperwork that ties this fake baby plot together. This isn't just gossip, okay? This is an industry-shaking, heart-stopping scandal that could expose the deepest cracks in the foundation of everything Jim, Chrissy, and Cameron have built. Buckle up, because by the end of this video, you won't look at any of them the same way again. The night this story broke, you could feel the tremors run through the entire hip-hop world. It wasn't a quiet leak or a subtle whisper, no. This was an explosion. Jim Jones, who for years has been tied to Chrissy Lampkin in one of the most publicly scrutinized relationships in reality TV history, just dropped a revelation that sent shockwaves through Harlem, through love and hip-hop, and across the internet. Jim didn't just speak his truth, he exposed something so wild, so dark, that fans are still processing what it even means. According to Jim, Chrissy and Cameron were entangled in a fake baby scheme that could go down as one of the most twisted betrayals in hip-hop drama history. Think about that for a moment. Chrissy, the longtime partner of Jim, the woman who built her own reputation on being strong, outspoken, and ride or die, allegedly tied up with Cameron, Jim's one-time brother-in-arms, in Dipset in a plot so scandalous that even saying the words fake baby is enough to stop conversations cold. Insiders say Jim couldn't hold it in anymore. Years of whispers, years of behind-the-scenes fights, years of humiliation built up until finally, in a moment of pure frustration, he spilled the truth. The reveal came during a private industry gathering where Jim was reportedly venting to a group of trusted confidants. But as is always the case in this era of receipts and hidden recorders, nothing stays private for long. Within hours, audio clips began circulating online. A muffled recording, clearly captured on someone's phone, features Jim's voice in a heated tone saying, "You don't even understand what they tried to do to me." Chrissy and Cam thought they was slick. That baby situation, man, that was never real. That whole thing was staged. The audio is fuzzy, the background noisy, but the words are unmistakable. When that clip hit Twitter, it was over. Fans went into meltdown mode. Some were shocked, others claimed they knew something was off all along, and a handful flat out refused to believe it. But whether you believe Jim or not, the accusations are chilling. According to him, this wasn't just a petty argument. It was a calculated attempt to manipulate him and control his reputation. One insider close to the situation told us exclusively, "Jim's been sitting on this for years. He felt played, humiliated, and trapped. He didn't want to air it out in public, but the pain kept building. Now he's ready to burn it all down." And the timeline makes this even juicier. Around the time Chrissy was allegedly pushing this baby storyline, fans noticed how tense things became between Jim and Cameron. Once brothers in Dipset, their relationship soured almost overnight, and the public never really got the full explanation. Was this fake baby scheme the wedge that broke them apart for good? Was Chrissy pulling strings in the background while Cam, ever the showman, went along with it for reasons we can only imagine? As the leaked audio spread, so did alleged DMs. Screenshots appeared on Instagram pages dedicated to hip-hop tea, showing conversations between Chrissy and an unnamed associate. In one exchange, Chrissy allegedly says, "He'll believe whatever I tell him as long as Cam backs it up." This is bigger than just OS, it's about control. Now, whether those DMs are real or fabricated by clout chasers is still up for debate, but their timing was impeccable. Dropping just as Jim's audio hit the internet, they added gasoline to an already raging fire. And then came the fan theories. Social media detectives combed through old episodes of Love and Hip Hop, pulling clips of Chrissy tearfully confronting Jim about their relationship, pointing to subtle glances exchanged between her and Cam, suggesting there was more beneath the surface. TikTok blew up with side-by-side edits, Chrissy holding her stomach during a dramatic scene, Cam in the background smirking, Jim looking suspiciously disengaged. Suddenly, a narrative began to form, and people were convinced this fake baby plot wasn't just a baseless rumor, it was an orchestrated storyline that Jim was forced into against his will. But if that was true, why speak now? Why not reveal this back when the cameras were rolling and the drama was at its peak? According to one alleged friend of Jim, the answer is simple. Fear. Fear of being blackballed in the industry, fear of losing what little piece he had left, and fear of destroying people he once loved. Right. But that fear, they say, turned into anger. And anger doesn't stay bottled forever. Jim himself has been cryptic on Instagram since the audio leaked. It's posting a series of black screen stories with captions like, "The truth always comes out and you can only lie for so long." He's fanning the flames without directly addressing the situation. Fans flooded his comments demanding clarity, while Chrissy has remained eerily silent. Cam, true to form, posted a meme of himself laughing with the caption, "They still talking about me," which only added fuel to the chaos. And let's be real, the silence speaks louder than words. Chrissy, who's never shied away from addressing rumors, suddenly going quiet. That alone has people convinced Jim's revelation is closer to the truth than anyone wants to admit. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Multiple sources claim that legal documents may exist tying this fake baby plot to financial motives. Apparently, there were discussions about endorsements, reality TV contracts, and brand deals that hinged on Chrissy and Jim presenting a family storyline. Those contracts can be linked to falsified information, like the existence of a baby that never was. This could spiral into something much bigger than a messy breakup. We're talking fraud allegations, lawsuits, and the kind of scandal that could permanently stain reputations. As if that wasn't enough, one source whispered about a possible third party being dragged into the scheme, another woman who may have been used as part of the cover-up. While details are still hazy, the rumor alone has fans foaming at the mouth. Who was she? Was she a decoy, a stand-in, or someone who got caught up in the lies without even knowing it? The unanswered questions are what make this story so magnetic. Did Chrissy and Cam really manipulate Jim into believing something that wasn't real? Did Jim go along with it, knowing deep down the truth just to protect his image? Or is this all an elaborate revenge move from Jim, finally taking his shot after years of humiliation? What we do know is this: the internet isn't letting go anytime soon. Memes are flooding timelines. YouTube breakdowns are dissecting every detail. And fans are demanding a response from Chrissy and Cam. Every hour that passes without a statement makes Jim's words ring louder. But just when you thought this couldn't get any crazier, insiders are hinting that a second, longer recording exists, a recording where Jim lays out the entire timeline of the alleged fake baby plot, naming names, dates, and deals. And if that recording drops, it could confirm everything, or expose even more than anyone is ready for. The question now isn't whether this scandal is real. The question is how deep it goes. And who's going to survive the fallout and trust? Me, what's coming next will leave you stunned. The morning after Jim's bombshell exploded online, the internet was on fire. Every blog, every podcast, every Twitter thread was consumed by one question. Was Chrissy Lampkin really involved in, A fake baby scheme with Cameron. Overnight hashtags like #FakeBabyPlot and #ChrissyExposed climbed to the top of trending lists, with thousands of fans dissecting every crumb of information, and then it happened. A new leak. A new leak. Around 8 a.m., a mysterious account posted a Google Drive link that claimed to contain the full recording Jim supposedly referenced. The file spread faster than wildfire. Shared in group chats, reposted on Instagram stories, dissected on TikTok lives. While the audio was longer than the original clip, it wasn't perfectly clear. But there were moments painful, undeniable moments where Jim's voice cracked as he described how Chrissy allegedly cornered him into playing along with the storyline. In one section, you hear him mutter, "I didn't know what else to do. She said if I ain't with it, Cam gone, make me look like the fool, and I ain't gonna be the fool." That line alone sent fans spiraling. Suddenly, the theory shifted. This wasn't just Chrissy and Cam pulling strings. This was Jim caught between loyalty and humiliation. Trapped in a scheme he didn't even want. But wait, things got darker. 10 minutes into the leak, Jim allegedly mentioned contracts, claimed that the network behind Love and Hip Hop pressured him to stick with the storyline because it boosted ratings and humanized him in the eyes of fans. Imagine that VH1 allegedly turning a blind eye while one of their biggest stars got played in a lie about parenthood. If true, this wasn't just a scandal, it was a network cover-up. The backlash against Chrissy was swift and brutal. Fans flooded her Instagram, leaving thousands of comments on her most recent photos. "Where's the baby? You played Jim? Fake storyline queen." Some went further, digging up old interviews where Chrissy passionately defended her relationship and reinterpreting her words as manipulative lies. Every smile, every tear, every raised voice, suddenly, it all looked staged. But Chrissy wasn't the only one under fire. Cameron found himself dragged into the storm headfirst, while he tried to play it cool with memes and jokes. Fans weren't laughing. They demanded answers. "Why would you do that to your brother?" One fan wrote on his Instagram Live. Another added, "This ain't just jokes anymore, Cam. This is betrayal." And when Cam smirked and brushed it off, people took it as confirmation that he didn't care who got hurt as long as the drama entertained. And then came the bombshell from an unlikely source, Juelz Santana. Out of nowhere, Juelz jumped on IG Live, where he said, "I don't know the full story, but I do know them. Times was messy. People was doing whatever for clout, for money, for TV. Don't be surprised if what Jim's saying got some truth to it." That single sentence set the internet ablaze. Juelz, another core Dipset member, wasn't denying it. He wasn't defending Chrissy or Cam. He was validating Jim's pain. To fans, that was as good as a confession. Meanwhile, YouTubers and bloggers dissected the leaked recording line by line. Reaction videos with titles like "Chrissy and Cam played Jim for ratings" and VH1's "Fake Baby Scandal Exposed" racked up hundreds of thousands of views in hours. Every piece of the puzzle was being analyzed like a crime scene. Body language experts were called in to rewatch Chrissy and Jim's Love and Hip Hop clips, breaking down micro-expressions and accusing Chrissy of manipulation. And if that wasn't enough, new screenshots surfaced, this time allegedly showing an email thread between Chrissy and a VH1 producer. The subject line, "Baby Storyline Proposal." In the screenshots, Chrissy allegedly wrote, "This is how we lock Jim down. Cam can back me up. The fans will eat it alive." Again, no one could confirm the authenticity of the emails, but fans didn't care. It looked real enough, and that was all it took. Social media spiraled out of control. Memes painted Chrissy as a mastermind villain, Cam as the sidekick instigator, and Jim as the tragic victim. TikTok edits with dramatic music replayed his leaked lines, while Twitter threads demanded Chrissy break her silence. Yet still no statement, no denial, no clarification. Just silence. But the silence didn't last forever. Late that night, a clip began circulating of Chrissy at a private party in Miami. Paparazzi caught her outside a luxury hotel. And when a reporter shouted, "Chrissy, what about the fake baby rumors? Did you scam Jim?" she snapped. Cameras captured her turning, pointing a finger and shouting back, "Don't play with me. Y'all don't know the half of it," before storming off. That outburst only made things worse. Fans interpreted it as rage, guilt, and deflection. The scandal had reached mainstream media by now. Gossip outlets were running with the headline, "Jim Jones exposes fake baby plot." While morning radio hosts mocked the absurdity of it all, one DJ joked, "Forget Maury, we need a VH1 reunion special to settle this mess." Behind the scenes, though insiders whispered that Jim wasn't done, one source claimed he was preparing to release proof-reel documentation that tied Chrissy and Cam to the scheme. Whether it was contracts, texts, or unreleased footage, no one knew. But the threat of hard evidence loomed over Chrissy like a storm cloud. Cam, on the other hand, doubled down. He posted a cryptic IG story of a baby doll sitting in a stroller. With the caption, "LOL, y'all believe anything?" It was cruel, mocking, and instantly went viral. Fans accused him of taunting Jim, turning a painful betrayal into a joke. Jim's supporters flooded Cam's comments, calling him heartless, snake, and the real villain. And then came the most shocking twist yet. A woman surfaced on Twitter claiming she was part of the plot, identifying herself only as M. She alleged that Chrissy once approached her to pretend to be a surrogate or a stand-in during the fake baby scheme. In a long thread, she wrote, "I said no. I didn't want to get caught up in no drama, but Chrissy was serious. She told me straight up, all Jim needs is to see proof. And Cam will vouch. He'll never question it." Screenshots of her alleged DMs with Chrissy quickly spread, showing Chrissy's profile picture and messages like, "We'll take care of you. Just gotta play the part." While skeptics pointed out that anyone could fake screenshots, the detail and timing made it impossible to ignore it at this point. The story had transformed from a messy love and hip-hop rumor into a full-blown cultural moment. The idea of Chrissy and Cam manipulating Jim into a fake baby plot wasn't just shocking, it was disturbing. It raised questions about how far people will go for fame, for money, for control. And Jim, he wasn't hiding. He went live on Instagram, visibly emotional, saying, "I ain't never wanted to do this, but y'all gotta understand, I've been carrying this for too long. I was lied to. I was played. And now everybody gonna know the truth." He didn't name Chrissy or Cam directly, but the implication was crystal clear. His face, his voice, his pain, it was all there. The live ended with Jim saying something that shook viewers to their core. "They thought I wouldn't have the receipts, but I kept everything. Everything. And when I drop it, y'all gone. See, I ain't crazy." The chat exploded. Fans begged him to show the receipts immediately, but Jim cut the live abruptly, leaving millions hanging. Now, the world waits. Is Jim bluffing, or does he really have ironclad proof of this fake baby plot? And if he does, what will happen when it drops? For days, the world sat in suspense. Jim Jones had promised receipts, and everyone from fans to bloggers to industry insiders was waiting for him to back up his claims. And then, without warning, it happened. Late one night, Jim dropped a cryptic Instagram post, a grainy photo of a shoebox, stuffed with old papers, DVDs, and what looked like envelopes sealed shut. The caption, "They thought I was bluffing. Truth don't die." Within seconds, the internet went into meltdown. People were convinced Jim was about to unleash a decade's worth of hidden evidence. The comments section exploded with fire emojis, demands, and speculation. Was this the final nail in Chrissy and Cameron's coffin? Hours later, YouTube channels started buzzing with leaks. One blogger uploaded a video titled "Jim Jones Sends Us Exclusive Evidence" and revealed what appeared to be scans of contracts, dated back to the height of Jim and Chrissy's love and hip-hop run. The documents included clauses about family storylines. And in one shocking section, a handwritten note in the margins read, "Fake pregnancy reveal. Cam can back this up." Was it real? The authenticity couldn't be verified, but the handwriting, the dates, the signatures, they all looked disturbingly convincing. And then came the footage. Another leak showed what looked like raw behind-the-scenes clips from an unreleased episode. In the grainy video, Chrissy could be seen talking to Kamran in a dimly lit room, whispering, "He won't question it if you co-sign. Jim trusts you more than he trusts me." Cam laughed, slapped her on the back, and said, "Say less. I'll make it sound good. Make it sound good." The clip spread like wildfire, replayed on every social platform. Fans froze the frames, enhanced the audio, analyzed every gesture. To them, it wasn't just evidence, it was a confession caught on tape. The fallout was instant and brutal. Chrissy's reputation, once seen as fiery but loyal, crumbled overnight. Fans flooded her social media with disgust, accusing her of betrayal on the deepest level. "You don't play with life like that," one commenter wrote. "This ain't entertainment. This is sick." Kamran wasn't spared either. He was dragged harder than ever before, painted as the manipulative puppet master who laughed while Jim was humiliated. But Chrissy didn't go down without a fight. She finally broke her silence with a fiery Instagram live, pacing back and forth in a designer robe, holding a glass of wine. Her voice cracked as she screamed into the camera, "Y'all don't know what really happened? That man is lying. He's bitter, he's mad, and he's trying to destroy me because he knows I moved on. And Cam don't got nothing to do with this." But here's where things got darker. Midway through her rant, she slipped. She shouted it was never supposed to get this far. It was just for TV. That one sentence was enough to send shockwaves across the internet. Fans clipped it, reposted it, slowed it down. To them, Chrissy had just admitted it. She had confessed that, at the very least, a fake baby storyline was pitched as entertainment, and Jim wasted no time firing back. The very next day, he went live again, calmer this time, but with a chilling seriousness. He held up what looked like an old BlackBerry, saying, "This right here. This phone got every message, every email, every picture from that time. They can deny all they want, but I never delete nothing. The truth gone speak for itself." Then he looked directly into the camera and said, "Chrissy, you know what you did. And Cam, you gone answer for this too." The comments section blew up. Celebrities tuned in live. Even industry veterans weighed in. Fat Joe commented with wide-eye emojis. Remy Ma dropped a cryptic line, "Some things you don't come back from." And 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance for shade, posted a meme of a baby stroller with the caption, "Chrissy, where the baby at though?" By now, the scandal had crossed over into mainstream news. TMZ ran with the headline, "Jim Jones drops evidence of fake baby plot." Breakfast Club hosts debated whether Chrissy and Cam should face legal consequences. Even mainstream networks like CNN and Fox picked up the story, framing it as an example of the dangerous extremes of reality TV culture. But the biggest bombshell was yet to come. Out of nowhere, leaked court documents surfaced, tied to a lawsuit filed years ago that was quietly buried in the paperwork. Jim's name appeared as a plaintiff in a fraudulent misrepresentation claim against Chrissy and two unnamed associates. The case was allegedly dismissed before trial, but the details lined up disturbingly well with Jim's current accusations. The papers described a false narrative of pregnancy that caused emotional distress and public humiliation. Fans connected the dots instantly. If this lawsuit was real, then Jim had been fighting this battle behind the scenes for years, long before the world knew. And now he had finally decided to take it public. The fallout was catastrophic. Brands pulled back from Chrissy. Cameron's tour dates were plagued with hecklers shouting, "Fake baby." From the crowd, VH1 was slammed with petitions demanding accountability, with fans accusing the network of orchestrating toxic lies for ratings. Some even called for lawsuits, claiming they had been emotionally manipulated by a fraudulent storyline. But the most devastating blow came during Jim's final live stream. His eyes were glassy, his tone exhausted, but his words hit like a hammer. "I loved her. I gave her everything. And she still played me like I was a fool. Y'all can believe what you want, but the truth don't change. I was lied to on the biggest stage in front of the world, and I'll never forgive it." The stream ended with him turning off the camera without another word. The silence that followed was deafening. In the days after, Chrissy went completely dark. No posts, no stories, no appearances. Cam, true to form, kept trolling, but the backlash was relentless. Fans weren't laughing anymore, they were disgusted. And Jim, he became the sympathetic figure in a saga that once painted him as the villain. But the biggest cliffhanger of all came from an insider leak to the Shade Room, according to an unnamed source close to Jim. He isn't finished. The source claimed Jim is planning to sit down for a tell-all interview, one that will include unreleased footage, screenshots, and even testimony from people allegedly paid off to stay quiet. If true, that interview could bury Chrissy and Cam for good. And so the world waits. Was this the end of a fake baby scandal, or just the beginning of an even darker revelation? And now, fam, you've seen it all. Jim Jones just dropped one of the most devastating bombs in hip-hop and reality TV history, exposing a plot so twisted it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Chrissy and Cameron. But here's the truth. This is only the beginning. If Jim really moves forward with that tell-all interview, if he really shows the footage and the receipts, the industry as we know it is going to shake to its very core. Careers could end, reputations could collapse, and lives could be changed forever. But let me ask you, where do you stand? Do you believe Jim's evidence is undeniable? Or do you think Chrissy and Cam are victims of a smear campaign? Are we witnessing the end of Chrissy Lampkin's legacy or the start of her ultimate fight back? This story isn't just gossips. History unfolding in real time. That's why you cannot afford to miss what happens next. So right now, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit that subscribe button with notifications on. Because trust me, when the next wave of leaks hits, you'll want to be the first to know. The truth is coming. And when it does, you'll remember you heard it here first. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.